He absolutely will be, but how much longer will he be described as Liverpool's main man? Florian Wirtz, one of those big signings, a British transfer record fee. That was until Alexander Isak was signed. Dean Ashton, let's take a little mention about Florian Wirtz, because I think he took a big step forward at the weekend. You know, we often say if you're going to spend that kind of money, these have to be main players in your team, and that means from a tactical perspective, you almost have to build the team and how they play around him. We know what he wants to do. He wants to create, and he's really, really clever, but that means you need to have a good synergy with the players around you, especially as a new player coming into a club. How do they take him to another level here?
Well, I think first of all, you're right. He has to adapt to his new teammates, and they have to adapt to him. He's incredibly intelligent. He thinks about the game very quickly. He can handle the ball and see things in really tight areas brilliantly. I think he's shown all of that. He works incredibly hard off the ball as well. So he's giving you something, even if he's not giving you the involvement in the actual goals, the assists and the goals. But what I would say is, until he can start breaking that down, start assisting, start scoring goals, you know, the price tag is going to be heavy, because he plays in a position where that is vitally important. He doesn't play in a midfield position deeper where goals aren't and assists aren't your key attributes. He has to start delivering that, whether he likes it or not. But you're right, I think it's another step forwards in terms of his development at the football club, and I still think there's an unbelievable player just waiting to burst out in terms of feeling like a Liverpool player and producing in front of goal.
Goals going in the Premier League. A big goal for Nottingham Forest, although it is being checked. Igor Jesus has just headed in from a corner, but they are looking to see if there was a foul when the ball came into the penalty area. For now, it seems as if Forest do have the lead. There's also a player standing directly in front of the goalkeeper, so plenty to check at Molineux. Aston Villa do have a goal back against Brighton now. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 1, and goals up in Scotland to tell you about as well. Rangers have an equaliser at Dundee United. Celtic still lead St Mirren by a 1-0. And in the EFL Trophy, the Virtue Trophy this evening, at 51 minutes on the clock, it is Crewe 1, Stockport 1. If Sunderland are to get a result here tonight, how much needs to go right for them, do you think, Dean?
Well, I think what's incredible about their rise this season is that these supporters down to our left-hand side, the Sunderland supporters, they're not just coming here thinking, oh, I hope we don't get battered. They're not. They're thinking, we can come and win here. You know, we've already shown against the top sides that we're capable of matching them, home and away. You know, they're putting very good performances. It's so difficult to break down. Only Arsenal, really, are a better defensive team than Sunderland. And so it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. You know, they're not going to come out and play. They're going to sit in really defensive shape. They're going to make it really difficult. And they've got a real threat. You know, they've got 3 players, Talby, Brobby and Lefay, that will cause you real problems on the break. There's genuine pace in that side. And I think they'll fancy themselves to get a result.
Well, I was going to ask you, if Sunderland win tonight, can we talk about them as candidates for the Champions League? I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. A big evening here at Anfield and up and down the country in the Premier League as well, as both teams make their way out onto the pitch. Sunderland in blue, Liverpool in their famous red, and that is the famous noise of Anfield. A very important evening to see if they can win back-to-back matches. A reminder, that goal, by the way, at Forest, still not given. The referee over at the monitor checking. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 1, Burnley 0, Palace 0, and officially still Wolves 0, Forest 0, all live on the Talksport app. You can hear Arsenal 1, Brentford 0, live and exclusive on Talksport. And remember, we'll have Leeds against Chelsea kicking off at the same time as us here at Anfield, live and exclusive for you on the Talksport app. A very important evening for Liverpool as they look for back-to-back league wins. Will the Black Cats bring them bad luck? Let's find out in the company of former West Ham striker Dean Ashton and Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Hugh, and a very good evening to you. Well, it's been a while since the Red Horns made their way to Anfield with so much uncertainty about what they're likely to witness. Got to go back to 1907 for the last time that they lost 2 successive home games by 3 goals or more. Defeats to Forest and PSV that have had a damaging effect and increased the already rife angst. how much Sunday's win at West Ham has been able to press the reset button remains unclear. The more defensive-minded performance at the London Stadium was hardly a vintage red. Got the job done, though, against subpar opposition. Tonight at home, it might be a little more difficult to approach the game with the same mindset, although it's a very similar team. But whilst Liverpool walk through the storm, Sunderland's 2025 has been remarkable. Back in the Premier League after 8 years away, they take on the champions a third of the way through the season, above them in the table. The Black Cats started the night 6th, and to put it in perspective, they haven't finished the season as high as that since 1955. In a climate of one-season wonders amidst the increasing gulf between the Premier League and the Championship, they have been outliers. And having had the best start to a season for a newly promoted club in 20 years, they'd love to claim another Big Six scout, which could potentially see them end the night in the top 3. Well, Liverpool line up without Salah again, the first time he's been omitted from a Premier League lineup at Anfield when fit and available since March 2024. They've got Alisson in goal, Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch and McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz and Gakpo and Isak. Roofs is in goal for Sunderland, the back 5 of Hume, Makila, Ballard, Alderete and Reinildo, Talbi, Xhaka, Siddiqui and Lefay and Brobbey. And the benches, Endo, Kirkes, Salah and Chiesa, Jones, Ekitike, Nioni and Gamoa and Mamadashvili. And for Sunderland it's Neil, Catrauda, Maenda and O'Nien, Mundle, Isidore, Adingra, Traore and Patterson. That goal for Nottingham Forest hasn't counted. It's been chalked off because Dan Ndoye was judged offside. It's still 0-0. Brighton 2, Villa 1. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0 live for you right now over on Talksport. And we're about to get underway here on Talksport 2 at Anfield. Was the win at West Ham a corner turn? It's been a while since Liverpool have suffered such chronic homesickness as they're suffering now. Sunderland have seen the blueprint laid down by Forest and PSV. But will the Black Cats be able to emulate their achievements and consign the Reds to a 5th Anfield defeat in 7 games? We're underway. Liverpool in their famous all red, kicking from right to left towards the Anfield Road end that houses the travelling Sunderland support. Sunderland in their change kit of blue shirts, white shorts, attacking the cop end in this first half. Probably putting a little bit of pressure on Konate, who lays the ball back for Alisson. And he will be able to play it back out towards the Liverpool right-hand side. Good tempo about these early exchanges. First touch of Szoboszlai, laying the ball off in the midfield for Van Dijk. Long ball forward from him, overhit, and it goes straight through for Robin Roofs, the impressive young goalkeeper. In goal for Sunderland away to our left-hand side. Daniel Munoz has scored for Palace. They lead at Burnley coming up to half-time. Burnley 0, Palace 1. And here it's 0-0 with a minute gone on Talksport 2. I'm delighted to say you and I in the company this evening of the former England international, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Is it another building block for Liverpool or one to stumble on? I think we'll see a little bit defensively. Brobbey playing up front for Sunderland has got the pace, got the power, got the intelligent running in behind to test Konate and Van Dijk in wide areas. And the front four given that opportunity again without Mo Salah for Liverpool. Can they produce again?
Ballard plays the ball forward, he goes straight through for Alisson. Liverpool 9 defeats in 13 games in all competitions. In fact, since they sealed the title last season, they've taken 23 points from 17 Premier League matches. Sunderland have taken 22 from only 13. Just a point separating the two sides at the start of the night. They're both within that sort of mid-table tranche of so many teams concertina together. It's often the nature of it at this stage of the season, but seldom as much as this, where one win can take you 4 or 5 places up, one defeat can cause significant southerly damage to your league position. Liverpool in possession right now with Cody Gakpo. He's laid the ball back to Virgil van Dijk, who in turn will find Alisson behind him. Just the 3 clean sheets for him so far this season. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai. There was a really good understanding between Szoboszlai and Joe Gomez on the right-hand side at West Ham at the weekend. Szoboszlai's run into traffic here and giving it away. And Granit Xhaka can win it back. He's been sent off here at Anfield in the past. Worked for by Makila. In towards the D on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, but easily clear. Gakpo's touch. Seized upon by Alderete. And there's a coming together between Van Dijk and Brobby that has left Brobby on the ground. Play goes on, it's a decent ball in from Hume. And coming in off the flank, Talby couldn't quite get there. Gomez will watch it over the line and out for a Liverpool throw that he wants to take quickly. But the referee rightly wants to make sure that Brian Brobby is okay and is just delaying proceedings whilst he's being checked.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was that he got there first, Brobby. And Van Dijk just then stood on his foot. The referee Stuart Atwell didn't feel like he did. But I tell you what, already you've just seen what Granit Xhaka gives you in a side that defends the way Sunderland do, is not just to get that rush when you get the ball back, to get the ball away. He's really calm. He picks the right pass. It really sets up that counter-attack. It's what he's so good at, Granit Xhaka.
Probably the highest profile of the signings that Sunderland made. He's a yellow card away from suspension. I guess that's the nature of the beast with the current suspension rules, that he's always likely to miss a game at some stage. He will miss the trip to Manchester City if he's booked tonight. Second successive season that he's visited Anfield as part of the Leverkusen side that was well beaten here in the Champions League last year. But his current employers are on the front foot. Lefay, who started on the right with Talby on the left, hitting in a low cross that is easily blocked. And he goes out of play for a throw that Sunderland will take down by the corner flag. 4.5 minutes gone, it's 0-0 there. As we expected, more than happy to take the game to Liverpool tonight.
And Mukiele there, bursting away from Gakpo, slow on the uptake, and Virgil van Dijk for the first time having to come into a wide position. Where was Robertson? Tucked into a midfield area. It's where teams have targeted.
So another long throw coming inside the penalty area. And easily knocked away. Back out to Nordi Mukiele. Right-footed ball is sailing into the Kop. Straight out of play. And a goal kick that'll be taken by Alisson. Liverpool have lost 2 of the last 3 home league games after only 2 of the previous 53. Manchester United and Forest winning here. They've lost to Palace and PSV in the very recent past here at Anfield as well. And notwithstanding a much more impressive display against Real Madrid and a league victory against Aston Villa in that tie. It's Andy Robertson, who's recalled to the side tonight for Liverpool. It's the one change they've made. He's come in for Milos Kerkez. He's worked it forward here towards Dominic Szoboszlai. So Szoboszlai started on the right-hand side of midfield at West Ham in the 4-2-3-1. Not the role that he's really operating in tonight. He's in a much more central area. Liverpool trying to win it back, have given a free kick away as Isak retreated and caught Xhaka. And the free kick goes Sunderland's way about 15 yards inside their own half. 6 gone here on Talksport 2. It's 0-0. Don't forget, Talksport Network tonight has all of the Premier League action, including on the Talksport app at Ellen Road, where Leeds have just taken the lead against Chelsea inside 6 minutes. If you've got the Talksport app, you open it up on your homepage, you will see the tab for live games. And if you click on those live games, you'll be able to keep abreast with everything that's going on. It's Biol that has given Leeds the lead there against Chelsea. Over on Talksport, it's half-time between Arsenal and Brentford with the Gunners a goal to the good. And here's Lefay, left-hand side of the penalty, in towards Brobby, who's sliding in the near post, couldn't quite get the touch from a tight angle to turn it past Alisson. The Brazilian very quickly back on his feet, bowls it out for Viet. Liverpool coming forward here with pace with Robertson, whose ball in might have found Gakpo had it not been headed away by Mukiele. And then Ballard will be able to clear out to the Sunderland left for Siddiqui. Siddiqui just working it forward through the midfield, back to Talby. Talby, who's levitated back out to the left-hand side again. Scotland St Mirren leading at Aberdeen by a goal to nil, with Celtic also 1 up and Rangers 1-1 at Dundee United. And now Brobby is banged into by Konate. No real complaints from him as he tried to roll his man and chase a loose ball. Liverpool allowed to play on. They've got possession at the back.
No, I think that was more Konate had read it and stepped across the line of Brobby. But I tell you what, it wasn't a good look, that, where the ball was just slid down the side of Virgil van Dijk. He was too flat to the play. Enzo Lefay just creeping in behind Liverpool's big Dutch centre-back cut the ball back. Probably thought he could just about get there, but Alisson was smart enough to react quickly. Sunderland have made a start you would expect of a team that's made a great start to the Premier League season.
Also on the Talksport app tonight, a thriller at Brighton. It's 2-2 now between Brighton and Villa, with Ollie Watkins, who only scored once in 19 games coming into tonight, scoring twice in the final 10 minutes of the first half. The equaliser coming in the 8th minute of added time. It's Brighton 2, Villa 2. Brighton have already blown one 2-0 lead at home this season. That was against Spurs. And have seen a 2-0 lead evaporate before half-time tonight. And the ball right across the face of the Sunderland penalty area, very nearly seized upon by Wirtz. He couldn't quite get there in time. Robertson winning it deeper. Szoboszlai from distance, and Roos just took an easy step to his right-hand side, got his hands behind the ball, beasting into the ground to make a comfortable save. 9 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, you can tell why the supporters get excited when Szoboszlai lines one up. Beautiful technician, striker of a football. Szoboszlai, dip, swerve, whatever you want, he's got the lot. It was a decent strike, it was an easy save, but he's been their best player, Szoboszlai. He's been such a waste playing at right back.
Yeah, he's another that is a yellow card away from suspension. Liverpool go to Leeds next, and he'll miss that match if he's booked. For Sunderland, it's Xhaka and Siddiqui who are walking the yellow card tightrope tonight. The one thing that they don't need is them both to pick up the yellow card in the same game and be without the entire central midfield which has served them so well so far this season. Xhaka, right on cue, has possession now.
Or it would mean they'd be then back for a certain derby.
Yeah, I suppose if you're going to miss a game, miss the match at Manchester City and get yourself fit for the Newcastle.
That's not coming from me. Well, it is.
That sort of thing surely doesn't go on. Here's Ballard. Mukiel. Hoovering up loose possession is Enzo Lefebvre. Back for Dan Ballard again. Ballard square to his left for other attack.
But they've been that important, those two, Siddiqui and Xhaka. Let's forget the yellow cards. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't actually play against City, and then you play a Dan Neil in that position against City when you've got such a big game.
Oh no, Konate just caught by a pass that went past him on the left-hand side of the penalty area. It comes back for Siddiqui. Siddiqui working it in towards Lefebvre. Didn't get the angle on the pass right, and that will allow Liverpool to get it forward. Gakpo really trying to whack it over the top for Isak's run. And he got the power in the pass, but he didn't get the direction right. And it just drifts through for Robin Roofs again, and it's still 0-0 with 11 minutes gone here on Talksport. And Siddiqui in possession, the Congolese international who's started every Premier League match since his move from Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. Xhaka's got it now. He's working it forward easily through the midfield, and Lefebvre is able to bring it forward and travel some 20, 30 yards in possession. Lays it off to his right-hand side for Mukiel. Now down towards Shemsdeen Talbi. Talbi on the right flank. From him to Lefebvre. Lefebvre back for the blonde-haired Ballard on the edge of the centre circle. No challenge coming in on him, so he's able to venture forward. He flicked it away from Wirtz and passes it out to the left-hand side for Ranildo. Back from him to Alderete. His ball down the inside left channel. Brobby trying to make something happen. Konate knocks it away, but Siddiqui wins it back. Tries to fashion the ball in towards Brian Brobby. It's knocked away on the edge of the penalty area by McAllister, who stayed down injured after winning the 50-50. Now Sunderland urged to stop, and the referee makes sure that they do. McAllister down. It's not a head injury, but there's clearly some distress for Alexis McAllister, who got caught, I think, just above the right ankle as he tried to knock that one away.
Yeah, but I think that what Sunderland players are saying is Brobby was down earlier and the play continued. You're right, it's not a head injury. There's no real issue. I think Sunderland should have really played on for that. Brobby stepping in, catching him a fraction, a little scratch on the shin.
Good to see your pain threshold is still as high as it was when you were bullying defences. Here's Ballard looking forward over halfway, and Lefebvre was easily muscled out of it there by Cody Gakpo. In the opening 13 minutes, Not a chance worthy of the name so far. It's a highly intriguing fixture here. Sunderland haven't won any of the last 10 meetings, with Nicholas Bentner, the last man to score a winner for the Black Cats against Liverpool. Their last win here back in 1983. And since that Gary Rowell penalty, they haven't won any of their last 19 visits to Anfield. Here's Soboslai. Plays it wide for Joe Gomez. Left-footed ball in from him. Almost found Gakpo. Roofs again has his contribution immediately acknowledged by the travelling Weirsiders as he comes out and catches it cleanly. And it's still 0-0 here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, that was better though, wasn't it? Into Isak. He's got that lovely awareness and first touch to flick away. And they worked it to Gomez. It was the right idea, looking for Gakpo at the back post. Roofs was nice and sharp out to claim.
Half-time in all of the 7:30 kickoffs in the Premier League tonight. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0, Brighton 2, Villa 2, Burnley 0, Palace 1, and Wolves against Forest is still 0-0. Leeds leading Chelsea 1-0 in the 8:15 kickoff. They played 14 minutes there, as we have here at Anfield, where it is still goalless. Liverpool working it forward midway inside the Sunderland half, but not effectively. It's out for another throw. Sunderland's points tally of 22 through 13 games, so a third of the way through the season. The same as Ipswich got last season. It's 10 more than Southampton got in the entire Premier League campaign. The best start that any newly promoted side has made since the Wigan team of the 2005-06 season. Konate bring the ball forward towards halfway. Lays it back for Virgil van Dijk. Now Alexis McAllister taking a touch, and then his second is a pass forward to Andy Robertson, the left back. He immediately sees the ball again, the gifted Argentine. Van Dijk with a long crossfield ball. Joe Gomez, wonderful piece of control, killed the ball on his chest and just rolled it down onto his foot, lays the ball back. Liverpool work it from the right-hand side across the imaginary horseshoe, back out towards Robertson on the left. Now Gakpo to Robertson again, just trying to draw Trey Hume in. He's laid it back instead to Van Dijk. And now to go back out towards the Liverpool right-hand side for Gomez. Gomez into Soboslai. Soboslai for Gravenberg. Gravenberg out towards Joe Gomez. A good attacking outlet on that right flank. He can't quite get the cross in though. Ranildo stayed in the way, blocked it, and Talby can do the rest. He lays it back for Siddiqui, whose long ball forward sees another coming together between Brobby and Konate, and this time it is a free kick to Sunderland near halfway.
Yeah, better refereeing that from Stuart Atwell. Wasn't looking at the ball as that was played. He just turned his head and saw that Brobby had got away. He just span away. Konate, arm round his neck. Absolutely, it was a free kick. That's what I meant about Brobby making it difficult all evening for Konate and Van Dijk. Won't stop. Likes to run in behind, back into defenders. He's already shown that.
The relevant statistic of the night concerns Stuart Atwell, incidentally. He's refereed 17 times here at Anfield for Liverpool in the Premier League. They've won 16 of those 17. The only one they haven't won against Sunderland back in 2010, which is completely irrelevant. It is a statistical oddity, I acknowledge that, but it raised an eyebrow when I saw it earlier. You can't read anything into it at all. Ball in from Siddiqui inside the Liverpool penalty area, then headed back by Mukiel, headed away by Van Dijk. Comes outside the box before Hume clips it in. Coming round the back at the far post is Talby, but he's sliding in front of the cop. All he could do is get a touch on it, and he just rolls straight out of play for a goal kick, which Alisson takes quickly. 17 gone, 0-0, and the Liverpool fans find their voice urging their side forward, because we haven't seen too much of them as an attacking entity so far, and they just haven't been able to get Isak or Wirtz into the game.
No, but it was sharp, wasn't it, from Sunderland in terms of ball out wide, ball in, and then heading it back. And you're right, again, it's just keeping that ball alive, even at the back post. Looked like the ball was going to go out. Alderesa, I think it was, that just scooped it back in. But just trying to test that Liverpool defence, who have to base this rebuild on that strong defence, on keeping clean sheets, knowing they've got, attacking talent that should score goals against any side.
They've conceded 10 goals in 4 games, and that's with a clean sheet at the weekend. There's Gakpo taking the ball back towards halfway. Back from him to Robertson. It was an interesting comment that Slaughter made in his pre-match press conference the other night, where he talked about the inclusion of Joe Gomez, and he said, I needed 4 proper defenders, and it's good with the injury problems that Gomez has had that they've been able to get 90 minutes out of him on Sunday and still pick him again this evening. There's a better defensive balance when you have an orthodox defender playing it right back. Here's Isak coming in off the left, and he's gone for goal, but he sent it sailing over the bar into the Liverpool supporters at the Anfield Road end, and it remains 0-0.
It does just show you a glimpse, though, doesn't he? Now and again, and so far, even as he's only got his first goal against West Ham, he shows you a glimpse. That was just brilliant. He just pulled out wide, faced Trey Hume up. It was a 3-step shimmy that took the defender out of play, and he just wanted to whip that into that far corner, overhit it, but it's almost like he thought, I want to get into the game here, and he did do.
You're listening to Liverpool against Sunderland on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Liverpool against Sunderland live right now. Search Now Sports. Brobby chasing the ball that is played down the Sunderland left. Konate's been dealing with him all night, and he lays it back for Alisson, who side foots it out of play and then just stood motionless on the edge of the 6-yard box, not admiring his good work, but trying to work out how he got that wrong in the way that he did, straight out for a Sunderland throw that they've taken quickly. Second half underway now at the Emirates, live over on Talksport. Arsenal leading Brentford by a goal to 0 and consolidating their lead at the top of the table here on Talksport 2. Goalless at Anfield between Liverpool and Sunderland, with Dean Ashton alongside me, Jim Proudfoot. And on the Talksport app, every other Premier League game taking place tonight. Leeds still leading Chelsea by a goal to 0. High ball swung straight out of play by Ballard, who tried to whack it out down to the left-hand side for the run of Talby, but out for a throw that Liverpool have taken, and it remains a little bit scrappy with no real emergence of quality past the dogged midfield battle. Konate heading it back, just about got the power that he needed on the header to get it away from the onrushing Siddiqui, and Alisson knew that he had to scamper to stop it going out of play for a corner, but he was able to get his hands underneath the high bouncing ball and make the save. 20 gone 0-0.
Neither team able to get any momentum because both are sitting off when the opposition have the ball. Even Liverpool, they're not looking to press high. They're just sitting into a defensive shape. I think almost being a little bit scared off that by the defensive performance. It's not a bad thing just to consolidate and start with, but it's meant that neither team has been able to get a real grip of the game, that's for sure. The supporters obviously trying to help.
Well, we were expecting it was going to be a back five as far as Sunderland were concerned tonight. They did that at home to Arsenal. They did it away at Chelsea where they won, but Trey Hume isn't playing at right back. He's playing right-hand side of midfield, really. Occasionally dropping back. In fact, he does now as Liverpool bring it forward, but Mukiel will drift out behind him and will push forward from that defensive position, with Hume supplementing him down the right-hand side. And now the Liverpool work it down to their left. Hume again pushes forward to engage with Robertson, but Liverpool still have it with McAllister going back to halfway for Van Dijk. Cody Gakpo level with the edge of the Sunderland penalty area as he knocks it square. Gravenberch with a touch, but it's knocked away from him and then steered back in towards Wirtz. Wirtz to Joe Gomez. Gomez looking for Wirtz by the penalty spot. It was cleared past him. Soboslai mops up. He goes back for Cody Gakpo. Gravenberch chipped over the top. Isak making a run. He had 3 Sunderland players around him, and he just simply couldn't get the run between the 2 outfield players to get a shot in on goal. And we're midway through the first half with neither goalkeeper having had anything to do.
I mean, it's incredibly tight in front of that Sunderland defence to play through. You've got to be so quick in how you think, how you move to find that space. Gravenberch almost found it, but the touch was off.
Soboslai. Wirtz taking it on. Xhaka stuck his foot in. Wirtz! Wide. And those on this near side of the ground thought it was in. There was a sharp chance as Roofs came out and got a touch that then hit the onrushing Wirtz. From that point of view, it could have gone anywhere. It all started as Roofs played a poor ball out from the back. Gravenberch seized upon it, found Wirtz, Soboslai got it back to him, and then Roofs came out, flicked it with his right foot into Wirtz, and it came off the German and hit the side netting.
Yeah, I think if he just gets a little bit more angle on this pass, Roofs, right leg, he scores, but he's stretching the whole time. Once he takes that first touch away from him, it then bobbles into his path, but it's just ahead of him. He's really stretching to just try and craft his foot to pop it past Roofs' leg, who came out so quickly, the goalkeeper, to narrow the angle. I'd have to say it's more good goalkeeping rather than poor finishing, because Wirtz was really stretching to put it past the goalkeeper.
There's 19 without a goal, Florian Wirtz, which is the longest drought of his career. In fact, he wasn't in great goal-scoring form at the end of his Leverkusen career either. If you go further back, it's just one goal in 31. But there was certainly loads of green shoots of recovery in his performance the other day down at West Ham, which was the best I've seen him play for Liverpool. I think that many that watch him week in, week out thought it was the best performance he's had in the Liverpool shirt so far. Here's Ronaldo, the left back for Sunderland. Played back by him to Alderete, whose clearance on the left-hand side evades Talby. So Liverpool have it back. Possession 60-40 at the moment, but the last 5-6 minutes, the Reds have seen more of it than that. Still 0-0 though, with the only shots on target coming from Liverpool. Sunderland hanging in there very gamely at the moment. They've been under little pressure. Van Dijk inside the centre circle. 20 out from half-time. Ball played down towards Cody Gakpo. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. Opens up for him. Right-footed ball is curved inside the area and easily dealt with by Ballard. Gravenberch. Back towards Gomez. He stretched out a right foot. Looks second favourite to get there, but did. And then Sunderland will bring it away. Brobby. Siddiqui caught in the midfield. Play goes on. There's no foul. Gakpo has it again. Turning it onto his right foot inside the penalty area. And he's driven it straight into Granit Xhaka. It's ricocheted back off the Dutchman and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, he wanted to cut inside, didn't he, and strike towards goal, but it was a heavy touch, and Xhaka was intelligent enough to step across, spot the danger, defended well there. Granit Xhaka, a little bit better from Liverpool, a little sharper, good movement off the ball, which you need to try and dislodge a defence like Sunderland's. But they're just a little bit lopsided, Liverpool.
Lefay has lost it this time. McAllister winning it back. Soboslai. Isak. Right-footed effort was blocked outside the penalty area, actually, by a brave challenge from Ronaldo. And Liverpool, in the next phase of play, get a free kick, but much deeper inside the centre circle. Half-time in all of the games in the Premiership. Aberdeen St Mirren 0-0, as it is at Falkirk and Hearts. Rangers 1-1 at Dundee United. And Celtic, in Martin O'Neill's last game, lead Dundee 1-0. Ball inside the penalty area is very calmly chested by Alderete. Back to his goalkeeper. It's excellent calm defending from the Paraguayan, who's arrived on Weir side via a spell in Spain with Getafe. And they have spent a lot of money over the summer. 140 million odd pounds is the net spend. So they've pretty much mortgaged the crown jewels to be able to give themselves a chance of consolidating their place in the Premier League. But as we mentioned earlier, having the money to spend and being able to spend it well, often two completely different things. And they have really spent it well. Here's Xhaka, who epitomises that. So does this man, Siddiqui. Played out to Ronaldo, the left-back venturing into Liverpool territories. Midway inside that Liverpool half as he plays it back to Granit Xhaka. Now taken on by Talby. Getting to the byline, chops it back onto his right foot. Siddiqui in support for him. The corner of the penalty area as Sunderland, kicking from left to right, attack the Kop end of Anfield. Dan Ballard coming forward. Wirtz did just enough to be able to stay goal side and stop him rifling one in from 30 yards. So it's work back for Xhaka. Peach of a pass from him. Out to Ronaldo. Ronaldo taking a touch, deceiving Gomez, laying it back. Siddiqui coming forward onto it. It's a decent effort from Alderete, but it dipped in front of Allison, who got down and was able to catch it cleanly. 0-0.
Felt like a waste in the end, didn't it? Alderete Striking from distance, yes, had a bit of dip on it. Alisson gathered pretty simply, but when that ball was pinged beautifully out wide by Xhaka, the ball's got to come into the box. You've got blue shirts in there, don't waste that opportunity.
Beautiful turn by Gravenberg. Now Robertson plays it forward. It's 5 yards inside the Sunderland half. So he goes back for Van Dijk. Konate can bring it forward. And then just taking the ball through the centre circle again feeds Alexis McAllister. McAllister into Wirtz, who's wearing black gloves on a seasonably cold Merseyside night. A real bite in the air. McAllister to his right-hand side for Konate. I mean, it's so cold, Dean, it's even coat weather. Konate has it again. He's 10 yards inside Sunderland's half. He's laid it back for Van Dijk. Van Dijk for Robertson. Robertson down towards Wirtz, who's pulled out towards the left flank. Hume passes him inside towards Lefay. But the ball goes to McAllister. Now Konate. Here's Joe Gomez again. Sunderland have done a really good job of stopping Gomez deliver with his favoured right foot at the moment. He can't this time either. So Liverpool work it back to the left flank, where Robertson's cross causes more problems than it might have done. A scuffed clearance. Wirtz taking it on, pulling it back from the byline. Siddiqui rifles that away and puts it out of play for the first corner of the night, which will be taken in front of the Sunderland fans by Liverpool at 0-0 with nearly half an hour gone.
Again, doesn't panic in a tight area there. Wirtz just slips away from two with a little bit of footwork away from Xhaka. Doesn't turn quite as quickly as he used to. Wirtz was away, tried to pull it back. His midfield partner Siddiqui was there.
Cody Gakpo's going to take this corner in front of a raft of Sunderland flags. In it comes, headed away well on the edge of the 6-yard box by Trey Hume. Hume's headed back out of the right-hand side. Soboslai's got time to run round it and rifle it back in. Takes a deflection, comes out for Gakpo. Once more trying to work the angle and get the shot away. He can't quite. He pokes it back towards McAllister instead. McAllister, Soboslai, flanked it in. Gakpo with a header back across the edge of the 6-yard box. And Sunderland deal with it after a fashion with Alderete and Ballard. It was a lack of communication, but one of them got his head to it and Roos could come out and catch it.
Yeah, not quite, was it, for Liverpool? Close, but not quite. Soboslai with a deep cross. Gakpo there heading it back, but not enough Liverpool players really gambling for that to be a threat.
Xhaka. Challenge coming in from Isak. The referee has said that there was an earlier infringement, and so he's not penalised the Isak challenge, but has seen something prior to that, and Alderete's got to come back and take the free kick. In fact, he's going to leave it for Roos. Mo Salah out warming up the way to our left-hand side with half an hour on the clock. There's a ripple of applause for him. You wonder what is going through Mo's mind. He's got a couple of games after this one, then he's away at the African Cup of Nations, where if Egypt have a good run, he would miss 6 Liverpool matches. Sunderland firing the ball forward inside the penalty area. It's right-footed and hit in by Siddiqui. A bouncing effort, then an overhead kick, Romero style from Alderete on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Actually made cleaner contact than Romero did at Newcastle last night, but he didn't get the direction that he wanted, and it was easily saved by Alisson.
Yeah, it was much more aesthetically pleasing, wasn't it? Alderete, lovely bit of athleticism to get up high with the overhead kick, but straight at Alisson.
Now Trey Hume picks up a loose ball and he'll go for goal. Oh, Alisson got lucky. He's gone through his hands, but he's tipped it onto the bar, and Liverpool survive. Horrible moment for the goalkeeper. His heart will certainly be beating pretty quickly after that. Got his hands behind it. I don't know whether he's caught in two minds whether to try and catch it, and in the last moment decided he was going to try and help it over the bar. And in the end, he did neither. But the crossbar came to his rescue. Sunderland inches away from taking the lead through Trey Hume.
Well, he was caught out, that's what it was. Wasn't expecting it. They lost the ball. Trey Hume just struck it straight away. Just took a tiny touch and then hit it towards the top corner. It was arcing away from Alisson. You're right, I think he doesn't know quite what to do. He ends up patting and taking the sting off the shot. But then bounces back off the crossbar. He's a lucky boy, Alisson. wasn't quite ready for it.
I think having seen the replay, maybe he misjudged it, and it was actually 6 inches further to his right than he thought. So he was trying to get his hands behind it. It's ended up hitting his right hand rather than going into the cradle of his hands. Anyway, he made the save. His clean sheet is still intact. It is currently 0-0. And for the latest odds, head to William Hill, the official betting partner of Talksport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Liverpool to win at 4-9, Sunderland 11-2, and the draw is 3-1. That's all thanks to William Hill. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Robertson. Now McAllister. McAllister winning it back. The sliding challenge was a good one as it came in from Lafay. Hume getting it forward again. Challenge on him came from Godi Gakpo, and the referee says play on. Hume is still down, writhing in pain.
So they should probably stop if it was the same.
As the McAllister one earlier in the game, he is getting back to his feet now. Hume, as the ball is worked in by Robertson, and will curve down towards the corner flag and beat Gomez. Sunderland fans that are booing because they're looking at it as an inconsistency between Hume going down there and play not being stopped, and the earlier one when McAllister went down and play was stopped, that you and I both felt it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, they absolutely have a point. And the game shouldn't have stopped on either, because there was nothing horribly wrong with either player. That was pretty obvious for everyone to see. Liverpool continued. Robertson with a really poor cross.
All 10 round 14 games of the Premier League live on the Talksport network, including tomorrow night Manchester United against West Ham. Live from Old Trafford, kicks off at 8, build-up starting at 7 with Natalie Sawyer. Friday night, a decent game towards the top of the EFL between two of the top 8. Hull hosting Middlesbrough, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff. And then round 15 games in the Premier League start 12:30 Saturday live on Talksport. Villa against Arsenal. We'll have game day live Saturday afternoon with all of the goals as they're going from the Premier League and EFL, including Bournemouth, Chelsea, Man City, Sunderland and Spurs, Brentford, as well as a classified results service at 5:15. And then 2 games from the EFL on Talksport 2, both exclusive to Talksport 2. The East Midlands derby against Leicester, and then Coventry going to Ipswich. The 2 sides that many people feel will still be the 2 that will get promoted into the Premier League next season. They're meeting at Portman Road. It's 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and it is live on Talksport 2. Ipswich, having said that the second favourites to get promoted, outside the top 6 after failing to win their game in hand at Blackburn last night. Here's Soboslai. 9 minutes to go to half-time here at Anfield. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Sunderland. Liverpool with more possession. Sunderland have come closer with the Hume effort that's hit the bar. And as Liverpool work it forward here, Gakpo looking across the line is a fraction offside. And it's a free kick that Mukiel wants to take quickly. He's not going to be allowed to do that. But I think the reality was that he didn't really want to take it quickly anyway. 9 to go to the break.
Well, Sunderland certainly won't be frightened, will they, with what they've seen 35 plus minutes in. Liverpool have still not really got any flow. You know, your Isak, Vets, not particularly scary, are they, at the moment for the Sunderland defence? I think Reddish Labriz will be really pleased with his side's performance.
In Scotland, leaders' Hearts take the lead at home to Kilmarnock. Lawrence Shankland's 11th of the season. Hearts have only lost 1 out of 19 all season. 2 points clear at the start of the night, and 2 points clear right now, with Celtic leading Dundee and Hearts a goal up at home to Killie. Rangers still 1-1 at Dundee United. It's goalless at Aberdeen and at Falkirk. That brings you up to date with everything in Scotland. No shot in the second half as yet for Arsenal in their game against Brentford, which is on 63 minutes. It's also live on Talksport. The Gunners leading 1-0 after scoring relatively early in the game through Mikel Merino. Liverpool just making a meal of getting the ball forward. It do end up winning a throw, giving a throw away over on that far touchline. And again, Sunderland just managing the situation, letting a few seconds come off the clock. And Ranildo, the Mozambique international left-back, former Atletico Madrid man, will go across to take it. 0-0. And that Hume effort that slipped through Alisson's hands onto the bar is the closest that either side have come to breaking the deadlock.
Yeah, they've done enough, haven't they, to really break up play Sunderland. It's been a clever performance here at Anfield, and again, you can sense, certainly the home supporters, they're not massively happy, are they, with what they've seen. There's no real intensity about the play. There's no urgency, I wouldn't say, about Liverpool when they get the ball. Still a little bit passive, a little bit lacking in confidence.
And it's a Sunderland free kick, which will be taken pretty much on halfway, over by the left-hand touchline. Dan Ballard's made his way forward to attack this. It's Xhaka that swings it in. Ballard the target. Van Dijk leant over him to knock it away. Hume heads it back in. Liverpool clear that. Only as far as Siddiqui. Back he goes again for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka working square towards Trey Hume. Hume taking a touch. Playing in Ranil though. Xhaka again. Sunderland once more venture out of their own half and then go straight back into it again. Alderete back for Xhaka. Now Alderete with a longer ball forward. Gomez coming across to cover the run of Talby. Liverpool hack it forward towards halfway, but they can't get a grip of the ball at the moment. Isak is having to do the vast majority of his work out of possession. Chasing back here, Ballard, and then coming forward, Mukiel was hoping that he was going to be able to get to the byline and get the ball in. He couldn't, it's come off him and goes out of play for a goal kick. Van Dijk's taken that quickly. It's 0-0 with 5.5 to go to half time, and Arne Slot was pleased with the improved defensive resolution that he saw at the weekend, Dean, but that has perhaps come with pretty much the same side tonight at the expense of attacking endeavour.
Yeah, I agree. There's certainly a cautiousness about the way Liverpool have played and certainly how they've defended, which is fine. But when they do have the ball, it should be really difficult for Sunderland. You should be thinking, wow, this is fast and intense here at Anfield against the Liverpool side that then are up against you. It's not like that. It is quite passive. It's not very difficult for Sunderland to get back into their shape. And it's just an odd, lopsided look to Liverpool because there's no Salah on that left-hand side. Szoboszlai's the furthest right, yet he's playing more like a right midfielder. Wirtz is in as a 10, and then it's almost a box midfield with no right winger. So it does look a little bit lopsided because you've got Gakpo playing as a left winger.
We'll come back to that point in a moment as Trey Hume prepares to launch a long throw inside the Liverpool penalty area, and then has gone relatively short instead towards Lefay. Lefay with a high ball inside the box. Allison comes out, punches it clear, but the offside flag's up against Ballard anyway. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool. So what do they do? Do they change it? Do they ask Szoboszlai to play as a more orthodox winger as he did at the weekend and try and stop him drifting infield? What do you do to...
Of course, there's no issue in starting in a position and drifting into another position, but there's no one out there. Joe Gomez looks like he's the furthest out on the right-hand side, and his strengths aren't going forward. They're not. He's a very simple player when he gets on the ball on that right-hand side. He's very limited in what he can offer you going forwards. So Szoboszlai's tucked in, and all of a sudden what is already a cramped area in front of Sunderland's defence becomes even more cramped for the likes of Wirtz and Szoboszlai, which is why we just haven't seen a lot of them.
Another goal at the Amex. Brighton were 2 up against Villa, now 3-2 down. Now Amadou Onana has scored the latest on the hour mark. It's his second goal of the season. I think I'm right in saying Villa haven't come back from 2 down to win a game away from home for 20 years in the Premier League, but they might be doing it tonight. Here's Joe Gomez. That one's live for you on the Talksport app. You go to the Talksport app, you'll see the tab that says live games, listen now, and you just click on that and everything will become self-explanatory. 3 to go to half time here at Anfield on Talksport 2 and also on the app where it is 0-0. Ball headed on, McAllister, Wirtz out to the left-hand side for Cody Gakpo. Gakpo with another right-footed effort as he cut back inside. It was well blocked by Siddiqui. Liverpool winning the seconds. McAllister, Wirtz, Robertson with a lovely turn. Now back out to Alexis McAllister. He sat waiting. He just stood motionless for a moment by the penalty spot, waiting for the delivery to come in. Now, right-footed effort. Oh, beautifully struck from Soboslai. Rifled towards the top left-hand corner. Didn't catch Roofsat, but he had to move quickly to get his hands behind it to beat it away. And he goes out for a corner on the left flank.
I just love the way Soboslai strikes the ball. He makes it look so simple, but it's the speed in which he whips that right foot. Almost comes from low to high on the ball to get that power and top spin.
Now to score the winner against Arsenal. As close as anybody to giving Liverpool the lead tonight. In comes his second corner. Dangerous near post flick. Knocked away. Back out of the edge of the penalty area. Kanate with a touch. Rifled back in from the right hand side by Isak. It's not one of the Sunderland players off his feet. Gomez in. McAllister! And if Roofs has got a hand to that, it's a sensational save. Might just have clipped the outside of the post instead. Alexis McAllister with a header from about 14 yards out, power towards the bottom right-hand corner. Liverpool getting closer, but it stays 0-0.
Yeah, it was a decent ball in from Gomez. Just fed it back in towards the penalty spot. McAllister's actually very good at this. Arriving late in the penalty area unmarked. Lovely header, guiding it towards the near post. He's so unlucky. It's beaten Roofs, but it's hit the outside of the post.
You're listening to Liverpool against Sunderland on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. McAllister inches away from the 50th goal of his senior career. Al Tanaka has doubled Leeds' advantage at home to Chelsea. At Ellen Road, it's Leeds 2, Chelsea 0. Live on the Talksport app. Biol and Tanaka, the goal scorers for Daniel Farke's Leeds, which you would imagine will make sure that it's still Daniel Farke's Leeds for a few more games. Yeah, Brobby, who's been chasing lost causes all night, got there ahead of Kanate. And then Siddiqui cleverly tried to win a corner, couldn't quite manage it. Oh, he has taken a last touch of a Liverpool player. So we go into one additional minute at the end of this first half here at Anfield. Now we go into stoppage time with Enzo Lefebvre standing over a corner on the Sunderland left. It's their first of the night. And in Scotland, St Mirren leading at Aberdeen with a Fraser penalty. The Sunderland setup is 4 just outside the 6-yard box, 2 in the 6-yard box. Alderita makes a darting run towards the near post. It's found in deeper for Ballard. Ballard heading it back across. Then a right-footed effort comes in. Allison underneath it, forced to tip it over the bar. It was Talby that struck it, took a deflection, looped up, and Allison under no pressure, but he couldn't risk trying to catch it, took a couple of steps back and just made sure that it went onto the roof of his net. Another corner.
No, I think he made the right decision. Talby catching it brilliantly. Not trying to thrash at the volley, guiding that volley. Van Dijk with the header up, the spin on the ball. Alisson Becker just making exactly the right decision to pat it over.
Well struck by Talby, the man who scored the last gas winner at Chelsea for Sunderland earlier this season, their most famous win of the campaign so far. Talby making his 100th senior appearance tonight. 0-0. It's the last moment of the first half as it's swept in again. Allison got a right fist to it to knock it away. And when the ball leaves the penalty area, the referee blows for half-time. And Sunderland will be happy. They've come within inches themselves of taking the lead with an effort from Trey Hume, which slipped through the grasp of Allison but went onto the bar, and Liverpool survived. Soboslai had a great effort at the other end, which was tipped away by Roofs. McAllister saw a header come back off the outside of the post with the Dutchman beaten. And Liverpool have offered precious little really as an attacking entity. And we've got to half-time here at Anfield on Talksport 2 at 0-0, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, it's been underwhelming from Liverpool. Sunderland, got to give them credit. Regis Labrie again, putting his team out to be really difficult to break down. They've sat there, they've soaked up any pressure. They've denied the space the Liverpool want with Verts and Szoboszlai in the middle of the pitch, and they've been a threat themselves on the break. They were lucky, Liverpool, not to be behind, with Allison making that slight mistake from Trey Hume's volley. But the lopsidedness of Liverpool, I think, is the big worry. Against a team where you need to really stretch the pitch, I don't quite understand why there isn't a right winger at the moment. There's a left winger, but there's no right winger at the moment. There's one sat on the bench that's not bad, but it's very lopsided how it looks from up here.
So is the time right then to bring Salah on now? Do you wait maybe till the hour mark before you make that change? Or do you ask Szoboszlai to play as a more orthodox right winger as he did at the weekend?
Well, yeah, you either say to Szoboszlai, you need to go out there and stretch the pitch for us and be a threat from out in that area, or there, or take it in turns, however you see, or you park any feelings of whether you're trying to make the team work without Salah and say, actually, this game in particular will suit him because they're sat deep. You can get the ball out to Salah. He can make those probing runs. He can be 1v1 against Ronaldo. I think it is suited to him, this game.
Well, Liverpool have failed to score in the first half of 4 successive Premier League games now. It's the first time that's happened since February 2023. They have had more attempts than Sunderland, 8-5, but both sides have had 3 on target. Sunderland didn't have any for quite a while, but Trey Hume almost found a way through. I think Regis Lebris will be very happy with the way that they're executing his game plan at the moment.
Yeah, because he knows they're going to have to defend for long periods, but what they have done is when they've got up the pitch, they've stayed up the pitch. They haven't just regressed straight away. They've won the ball back a couple of times from Liverpool playing out. That was when Trey Hume hit that shot very quickly on Alisson because Liverpool had lost the ball. But this is what they've done. They're very comfortable playing this way, Sunderland, and you can sense that. There's no panic about them at all.
So half-time here at Anfield, 0-0 between Liverpool and Sunderland. We've got the whole of the second half to come here on Talksport 2. We'll also be keeping up to date with everything that is going on elsewhere. Arsenal still leading Villa 3-2 up. And also a significant scoreline from Ellen Road, where Leeds are leading Chelsea by 2-0. We've got details from those games coming up very shortly for you here on Talksport 2.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
It's another day at Screwfix, and so Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Dip lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
This Christmas, McDonald's and the Elf on the Shelf are bringing festive tasks to your little ones, like writing a Christmas card for your postie.
Thank you. You're one happy helper.
Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 30th of December from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy while stocks last. Subject to availability. Fair ordering policy applies.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a tree, playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream over 50 live Premier League games flexibly with Now. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
What you got here for us then, young Egon?
It's Talksport's live football, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous! Right, take them 110 live Premier League exclusives and knob them over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
All right, I'll take them out, Gazan.
Stack your 40 Champions League games right in front of them 35 FA Cup clashes. And I think, Egon, that's us done it.
Hear over 500 games of live football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
What's in this trailer, Governor?
Hell, spells. It's another 100 2026 World Cup games.
Blooming heck.
Tell you what, shove a top on them and stick them in your brother's lock-up. Yeah.
On Track, Tuesday afternoon from 2 on Talksport 2. Keep ahead of all the action in the world of motorsports.
He's shown that you don't need to win from pole position.
Extended, hard-revving roundups, in-depth racing analysis, and big-name interviews.
If I'd gone 1.5 tenths slower, I would have been P10 on the grid. So it's so tight.
Talksport 2 rounds up the biggest stories and the latest racing rumors.
Championship points are more vital than ever.
On Track, Tuesday afternoon from 2 on Talksport 2.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
All too easy.
Premier League live on Talksport 2.
Was the win at West Ham a corner turn? It's been a while since Liverpool have suffered such chronic homesickness as they're suffering now. Soboslai, Wirtz taking it on. Xhaka stuck his foot in. Wirtz wide. And those on this near side of the ground thought it was in.
I have to say it's more good goalkeeping rather than poor finishing, because Wirtz was really stretching to put it past the goalkeeper.
Now Trey Hume picks up a loose ball and he'll go for goal. Oh, Alisson got lucky. He's gone through his hands, but he's tipped it onto the bar.
He ends up patting and taking the sting off the shot, but it then bounces back off the crossbar. He's a lucky boy, Alisson. Wasn't quite ready for it.
Rifled back in from the right-hand side by Isak. It's not one of the Sunderland players off his feet. Gomez in. McAllister! And if Roopson's got a hand to that, it's a sensational save.
Lovely header, guiding it towards the near post. He's so unlucky. It's beaten Roofs, but it's hit the outside of the post.
Liverpool have offered precious little, really, as an attacking entity. And we've got to half-time here at Anfield on Talksport 2 at 0-0. And you're listening to Premier League Live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is, they're here for it. Good evening from Jim Pratt and Dean Ashton's alongside me. Now let me keep you up to date with everything else that's going on tonight in the Premier League. Arsenal leading Brentford over on Talksport right now. Mikel Merino's goal on 11 minutes. The difference between the two sides will give Arsenal a 5-point lead at the Summit at the end of the night if they hold on. But it is still a 1-goal lead with 8 minutes to go. Extraordinary game at Brighton. Brighton 2 up early on against Aston Villa, including a goal for Jack Hinchwood, actually eventually given to a Pau Torres own goal. Hinchwood thought that he got the ball in the net just 5 minutes after coming on. Brighton 2 up at that stage, but Ollie Watkins pulled 2 back before half-time. Amadou Onana's put Villa ahead. It's Brighton 2, Villa 3 with 13 minutes to go. Turf Moor, only got 9 minutes left. Daniel Munoz's goal just before the end of the first half. The difference between the two teams. And it's Wolves 0, Forest 1 at Molineux. Igor Jesus, the man that put the ball in the net there. Forest leading at Wolves by a goal to 0. Leeds 2, Chelsea 0. Half-time now at Ellen Road. They've had 27% possession leads, but they're 2 goals to the good through Biol and Tanaka. Leeds 2, Chelsea 0. Here at Anfield, it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Sunderland. We've got the whole of the second half coming up for you here on Talksport 2. The Premiership, all of these games kicked off at 7:45, so they're about midway through the second half. Leaders Hearts leading Kilmarnock 1-0 through Lawrence Shankland. Celtic 1, Dundee 0. Maida scoring a very early goal there at Celtic Park. Rangers now trail at Tannadice by 2 goals to 1. Dundee United 2, Rangers 1. Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 1, and Falkirk 0, Motherwell 0. And there's a game in the EFL Trophy tonight as well. Stockport County 1 at Dean's Old Club Crew on penalties, 1-1, but County winning the shootout. That brings you up to date. We've got the whole of the second half here at Anfield to come. And we can only hope this game delivers the same level of drama in the second half as last night on Talksport 2 when we brought you that 9-goal thriller between Fulham and Manchester City. Pep side clinging on for 3 vital points Our very own Ian Abrahams caught up with the City boss after the game.
Pep, Bernardo Silva said that you've told the players not to do that again because it gets you old.
No. I thought after we have done 10 seasons here, 9 seasons together, I deserve some credit for my players, and they don't respect me. So I told them, don't do it again. Maybe I prefer to. Johan Cruyff said I prefer to win 5-4 than 1-0, right? But I'm not agree with my mentor and my idol Johan Cruyff. So what can I say? So it's Premier League, everyone, after even 3-0 or 5-1, it's over. You start to write the articles and start to write the pieces, and honestly, you want to control, you want to do it, and always, I think in that position, it's just okay to bring the ball a bit high in the pitch. You have players like Cherky in the last minutes, or Bernardo make a step up, and Nico Riley. Then the last minutes, those three, they keep the ball and make a long possessions. And for that, we have the chances from I would say from the chances from Josko Guardiol, and it's football. We have the chance for Merling to make a 6-3, and 1 second later it's 5-4. And in the Premier League, with this beautiful stadium, the crowd goes, and here, this is the stadium, but then the stadium, the Premier League starts, and listen, it's just pray, it's just okay, whatever will happen, and finish the game. But that's why Premier League is unique. The Premier League is beautiful. The Premier League is, I say in that, because we won, of course, yeah, but I would say the same. I will be more angry, I will be sad, but I would say the Premier League is unique for that.
Far be it from me to argue with the best Premier League manager I've ever seen, but I am with Johan Cruyff on that one. But did you ever get worried? I mean, at 5-3, were you a bit worried?
Of course I was. How can I be worried? With 5-1, 5-4, 10 or 15 minutes left, of course I was worried. I'm a human being, I'm sensitive. In 5-1 I was calm, in 5-4 no. So of course I worry, I try to find some substitution, Nathan 5 in the back, or maybe for the crosses, maybe for the fight in the back, Josko Guardiol could make a clearance in the last action of the game. But they are top players. Look the guys, King, look the Kevin, the winger in the outside, and you always exceptional player, and all of them, they know what they have to do. Marco is a top manager, so I know it, so that's why I give a lot of credit. Always have been tough. We won we won, the result was good, but always have a struggle against Fulham. Always. Marco Silva is an exceptional, and happy because I'm going to tell you something. We have done many good things.
Pep Guardiola, it's a great interview that from Ian Abrahams after that 5-4 success for City at Craven Cottage last night. More goals to tell you about. Daniel Marlon has made it 4-2 now for Villa at Brighton. That's 6 in his last 8 games for club and country. His 7th of the season is Villa's leading scorer, and that looks as though it's going to be enough for their 6th straight win in all competitions. Brighton 2, Villa 4. It's only going to be the 2nd time in their Premier League history that Brighton have been 2-0 up in a game and lost. The other was at Fulham nearly 7 years ago. Liverpool making a change at half-time, and here comes Mo Salah. But we understand that it's going to be Cody Gakpo who will be coming off. Dean Ashley, are you surprised at that?
I'm not surprised that Mo Salah's coming on. I'm surprised that it's Gakpo that's going off, because it makes me think, well, then who is going to play on the left-hand side? Is it going to be Wirtz? Is it going to be Szoboszlai? Probably Wirtz. Or is it going to just be lopsided, but from the other side? We'll wait to see, but I think it's the right decision to bring Mo Salah on.
You're listening to Premier League Live on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Liverpool against Sunderland live tonight. Search Now Sports. More live Premier League action coming your way tomorrow. Manchester United against West Ham concludes week 14 of the Premier League season. It is exclusive to national radio on Talksport from Old Trafford, with the build-up starting at 7 ahead of an 8 o'clock kick-off. Friday night, exclusive action on Talksport 2 for the EFL as Hull host Middlesbrough. Saturday, it's Villa against Arsenal, who, if they can hold on right now against Brentford, will be 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League by then. That kicks off at 12:30 on Game Day exclusive. Game Day live from 2:30. All of the goals as they go for the Premier League and the EFL, including Sunderland's trip to Manchester City. And we've got 2 more exclusive EFL games for you on Saturday. Derby Leicester at 12:30 and Ipswich against Coventry at 3. And then this Friday, Adrian Dunn will be hosting World Cup Drive from 4. We got the draw for the 2026 World Cup taking place during the show. And Adrian joined by Stuart Pearce, Alan Pardew, Charlie Mulgrew and Andy Brassel to bring you full and extensive coverage as England, Scotland and the rest find out their opponents. Then from 7, Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent will bring you the World Cup after party with the best reaction, a host of guests and exclusive interviews live from Washington, D.C. Every game for the World Cup is coming your way next summer in 2026. Tonight, in the depths of winter, we're back underway here at Anfield. It's 0-0, Liverpool in all red, attacking the Kop. Now, the answer to your question, Dean, is Wirtz on the left and Szoboszlai playing at 10 with Mo Salah on the right, and immediately putting some pressure on Reinildo, who was forced to lay it back to his goalkeeper, Roofs. Salah then chased the back pass. Roofs directing traffic and told Reinildo where to play it. Sunderland then have a player go down off the ball, and it's the Mozambican international who's been caught on the left ankle. First free kick of the second half goes Sunderland's way. It's 0-0 here on Talksport 2, and here's Dean Ashton.
Well, what it does do is it gives a natural balance. If Wirtz does stay out on that left-hand side, he will want to drift, though. It's his natural way of thinking is to drift into the middle of the pitch. I wonder if he can keep a bit of discipline out there and stretch this Sunderland defence in the second half. And we'll really see what Mo Salah has thought of being sat on the bench. Are we going to see a revitalised, hungry Mo Salah to show everyone?
Well, last night we had that extraordinary 4-5. Might conceivably get another one tonight as Brighton pull one back. It's Brighton 3, Villa 4. Jean-Paul Van Ecke has scored again. It's the first time in his career that he's scored twice in a game. Salah making his way forward down the right-hand side. He felt as though he was being impeded. Arne Slot certainly agreed with him. The referee, Stuart Atwell, didn't. Sunderland have got possession back and they get it back for Roofs. His long clearance will drift straight out of play. Van Dijk just watching it over the left-hand touchline for a throw. A reminder that Chelsea 2 down at Leeds in the other 8:15 kickoff tonight. You've got the Talksport app. You can keep abreast with that. Chelsea have never come back to win a Premier League away game when they've been 2 down at half-time. They've lost, in fact, all but 3 out of 42. Will they be able to get anything back tonight? It's on the Talksport app right now. A stoppage-time goal for Arsenal should cement their 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League. Bukayo Saka with it. It's Arsenal 2, Brentford 0. Salah with a long ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Headed away by Alderete. Awkward one for Xhaka to control. He took it down on his head, then his chest. He was under immediate pressure. Flicked it over his shoulder to get it half clear. But Liverpool win it back. They have it with Robertson. Robertson playing it out towards Wirtz. Wirtz drifting inside onto his right foot. It's a deep ball towards Salah, but Reinildo can head that away, and it will just drift down towards the touchline where Salah can field it. Salah back to Joe Gomez. Szoboszlai has it now. Stands on the ball with his right foot, just rolls his studs over the top of it, plays the pass forward to Joe Gomez. Back from him for Salah. Salah square to his left-hand side for Gravenberg. Gravenberg to McAllister. McAllister to Robertson. Out towards Wirtz. Bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. McAllister, right-footed ball in, was a nice one. Half clear, back in from Joe Gomez. Ballard gets a much better contact on that clearance to get it away towards halfway. This is much better, though, from Liverpool, turning the screw at the beginning of this second half.
But not asking for anything difficult for these Liverpool players, just to move the ball quickly, take less touches, move it quickly, run off the ball to make it difficult for the opposition. Things that you can build a momentum here at Anfield and make it a difficult place to usually come.
Szoboszlai, Salah. Salah turning it in left-footed, but again it's headed away, that time by Xhaka, and just got caught there, Mo Salah, by Reinildo. Sunderland often just gravitate back towards a back 6 when Liverpool are putting the pressure on them, and they'll do that by dropping Talby back in. And Reinildo just drifts in a little bit. Liverpool work it back out towards the far touchline now for McAllister. Gravenberg. Home crowd, as you can hear, infused by the start that their side have made in this second half. But have been better. Slot's instructions at the break being heeded at the moment. Robertson back from McAllister. And Szoboszlai with the long dark hair coming onto it, and then beautifully nutmegging Lefay to work it back for McAllister again. Szoboszlai with pace towards Salah, whose first touch was heavy. Second one inside the penalty area is cleared. Konate, the deepest of Liverpool's outfield players, picks it up again, but even he now is invariably 15 yards in Sunderland territory. Liverpool working it forward towards Florian Wirtz. Wirtz for Robertson. A left-footed cross, which is bravely blocked by Hume. And it goes out of play for a throw. Still 0-0. For the latest odds, head to William Hill, the official betting partner of Talksport 2's Premier League coverage. And right now, Liverpool 4-7, Sunderland 13-2, the draw 9-4. That's all thanks to William Hill, 18+, begambleaware.org. Sunderland turning over possession. Taubé can bring it forward. Taubé to Lefay. Excellent run forward here from Mukiel, and they'll work it down towards him. He's done well to get there. Robertson trying to play a loose ball off him out of play for a throw, but he could even field that. And Sunderland getting their foot on the ball and just able to have a breather in possession, because they've hardly had a kick in the second half.
No, they haven't. Mukiel, he's been very, very good at that all season. When he gets the chance, he raids forward from whether that's a right-sided centre-back position or whether it's a right-back position as he's sat in now.
Robbie's gone down, play goes on, Liverpool smacking it forward, looked like handball by Salah, referee says play on, Salah poking into his left, Szoboszlai, and then it's cleared by Reinildo, and immediately the Sunderland backline hold an inquest with the officials. Play will now stop because Robbie is down injured upfield, but it looked as though Salah all but caught that as it was played out towards him on the touchline, but play was allowed to continue. I beg your pardon, it's not Robbie who's down injured, but Siddiqui, about 15 yards outside the penalty area. He's just being held back to his feet now without the need for treatment.
Yeah, I mean, Konate was lucky because he didn't get much of the ball. Took a swipe at Siddiqui with his right boot. But again, why does the play need to stop? You can tell he's fine. Yes, he's got a sore foot, a sore ankle. You don't need to stop the game. Referees have to just let the game play on, and he'll soon get up to help his side. You're right, Mo Salah definitely handballed it down the other side. They'd have been furious if that had led to a goal.
I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters are calling him. He's passed his audition. Pedro Neto came on as a half-time substitute for Chelsea and has already scored. It's Leeds 2, Chelsea 1. Neto's 5th Premier League goal of the season has already scored more than he did last season. And that's live for you right now on the Talksport app. This one is 7.5 minutes into the second half at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Sunderland 0. Arsenal have won. They've beaten Brentford 2-0. Marino early and Saka late in the game. So a 2-0 victory, yet another clean sheet, and 5 points the advantage at the top of the table above Manchester City. Szoboszlai in great defensive work. He's covered an awful lot of ground to make sure that he got back goal side of Lefay to stop the latest counter-attack. Lefay then tried to do something very similar, and he's crowded out McAllister in midfield. He had a couple of nibbles at him. Eventually he fouled him, and he gets a yellow card. Enzo Lefay, second of the season. He's the first player to have his name taken tonight.
Yeah, he got away with the first one and even the second one. But then the third one he won't. A yellow card. It's got that feeling with Liverpool, if they can again build that momentum and the intensity. You can see a goal being scored from outside the area for Liverpool, really shoving Sunderland back into their penalty area. Maybe a strike from distance, a deflection. That type of goal is where it feels most likely at the moment for them.
Roofs in, all orange, comes out and deals with a high ball in from Isak. The other day, Isak only had 2 touches in the second half. He was taken off midway through the second half. One was heading a corner away inside his own penalty area, and the other was the goal. This is another night where he's glad he's not getting paid by the touch. I mean, it's a criticism that's often, but perhaps spuriously, levelled at Erling Haaland, when you bear in mind how many touches he has. But does it matter that they're not able to get Isak involved?
I think it matters, but I think what's What's more important is, are you creating chances for him? I think Haaland doesn't touch the ball very often, but you feel like they're creating chances for him. His touches generally are attempts on goal.
Liverpool with work to do, and Gomez has done it a little bit too late. That'll be a yellow card. Rash challenge on the touchline. His man was past him. Gomez trying to get the ball, and all he got was Ronaldo. Free kick to Sunderland on the left wing, and Joe Gomez is booked. He can have no complaints.
No, he can't. Totally committed. Sliding out there. He thinks he's getting there. Ronaldo just poking it away with his right foot. And getting cleaned out by Gomez.
Forest have won at Wolves, a 4th win in 5 games for them. Igor Jesus with his 6th goal of the season. That was enough to win it for Forest. Wolves have now lost 8 in a row. Still only 2 points from 14 games, and without a goal in 495 minutes in the Premier League, which is 8.25 hours. Wolves 0, Forest 1, the full-time score. Camera panning to a famous face in the front row of the Sunderland end. Kevin Phillips, a prolific goal scorer, one of the very best ever to wear the famous red and white stripes. He's in the away end, kind of incognito tonight. In comes this free kick, which is swept way over the bar. Lefebvre bending it in. He was trying to do the old Zola one towards the top right-hand corner. If nobody got a touch, then he might score. But it's just drifted over the bar and straight out of play for a goal kick. And Regis Lebris doesn't look too happy with that. Liverpool take the goal kick quickly. Great interplay between Salah and Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai taking it on. He saw the challenge coming from Alderete, got out of the way of it. And it's cleared by the Paraguayan out for a throw that Liverpool have taken quickly, with Salah finding Gomez. Still 0-0.
Theme of the game, hasn't it, for Sunderland is the minute this crowd think a Liverpool player's got past and into a bit of space, across comes a blue shirt, across comes a teammate to help out defensively. They've been so good at that.
And they have to be so again as Ronaldo puts the ball out of play for the first corner of the second half, stopping Salah getting a cross in from the right-hand touchline. Palace have won at Burnley 50 feet in a row for Scott Parker's Clarets. Palace don't fall to a third defeat in a row. Daniel Munoz with the only goal, his 4th of the season. Burnley 0, Palace 1's a result. The latest score still, Brighton 3, Villa 4, Leeds 2, Chelsea 1, and 0-0 here at Anfield as the corner comes in, headed down towards goal, the edge of the 6-yard box, and cleared back in from Salah, and that might have been close had it managed to get through all of the traffic between him and goal. I think it was Mukiel that it hit. And as the latest cross comes in, there's another big cry of roofs from the Sunderland fans as the young Dutchman comes out and catches it. When he's had a wonderful season, all the more so when you consider just how inexperienced he was when he signed. He got barely 40 senior games behind him in Dutch football before they paid £9 million for him. But he's played in every Premier League game so far, hoping to keep his first clean sheet in 6 tonight, and he still might. Szoboszlai bringing it forward, though. He'll fire one in from distance, and he's put it 20 rows back in the Kop. 0-0 with 2 minutes shy of the hour mark here on Talksport 2 at Anfield.
Difficult when you do have the ability that he has from distance not to want to take that on for Szoboszlai, but it's about picking the moments when he's balanced, when the space opens up. I think that was the wrong choice there. He had 3 options to play a pass inside the area.
It's finished at Brighton. Brighton 3, Villa 4. Roos playing out from the back. Couldn't find Trey Hume. Liverpool with Wirtz. Right-footed efforts, taking a deflection. Ronaldo able to clear his lines from inside the box. And then Lefebvre will be able to head the loose ball out towards the Sunderland right. Ballard clears from the edge of his own penalty area. All he can do is flight it forward. Oh, a terrible mistake by Konate. And Brobby can pick up possession. He's got options either side of him. One of them is Talby. Brobby caught off the ball. Talby's got it. Cutting inside the penalty area back towards Brobby. And the covering work from McAllister was good enough, and he enjoyed that contribution. Just gave himself a little fist pump. But Konate owes him a drink for that. Sunderland have it again, but much deeper. They're going to make a change. Isidore will be coming on, and you would imagine it will be for Brobby, who's run tirelessly with very little reward tonight. So that change is imminent, but Konate got away with another one.
Yeah, the pressure of some of his performances and probably the criticism that he's taken, Konate has put him on edge a few times. Brobby, you just felt maybe didn't have the energy to get away there, because you thought once he was ahead of Konate, could have taken that through 1v1. The touch wasn't good enough. Liverpool players got back just in the nick of time when Talby went through.
Oh, Alisson clipping one out towards the left-hand side. It's a poor ball. It's only fine Hume. Ball chipped in. Brobby at the far post. Konate just took it away from his flight path. Heads it into the Sunderland fans. And it's out for a corner to the Black Cats with an hour gone. Yeah. Still 0-0.
That was good defending, though. Really poor from Alisson. Set upon by Enzo Lefebvre. Little clip to the back post. Brilliant from Konate. Angles were right. Distance away from Brobby was right. Just got up and headed that over, or else Brobby was about to head towards goal.
So a corner to be taken on the Sunderland left. Enzo Lefebvre strikes it right-footed. Oh, it's hit the outside of the post. Alderete coming to meet it. Free header, and he powered it in. Alisson nowhere near it, and he skimmed the outside of the post and got out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, he just darts to the corner of the 6-yard box, Alderete, because of the pace on the ball from Lefebvre. He just glances it towards the near post. You're right, Alisson was worried about the ball to the back post. Wouldn't have got there. Just kisses the outside of the post. Unlucky again for Sunderland.
Now Salah brings it forward. A free kick has been given, not against him, but I think against Isak, for a foul on Reinildo, and that will allow Sunderland the opportunity to make the change. So Isidore is going to come on. He's scored 4 goals this season, his last coming against Chelsea, the only one that he's scored in his last 8 matches. And he'll replace Brobby. Big ovation for Brobby. He's performed very selflessly tonight, but has simply not had any service of note. So Wilson Isidore is on for him. Let me reiterate, a 4-3 win for Villa at Brighton, the first time since they won at Southampton back in 2005 that they've come back from 2 down away from home to win a Premier League game. The Wolves beaten at home by Forest. It's the joint worst start in English top division history. They've emulated the Sheffield United team of 5 years ago in 2021. The last team, the only other team ever to take only 2 points in the first 14 games. 0-0 between these two. That means that Sunderland are still above Liverpool in the table. But Gravenberch can bring it forward, coming away from the edge of the centre circle. He's played it to his left-hand side for Virgil van Dijk. Level with the edge of the box is Alexis McAllister. Soboslai now, a little bit deeper. He goes square to Gravenberch. McAllister, always buzzing around him, is able to pick it up. Cole Palmer about to come on for Chelsea for his first appearance since mid-September because of that long injury. They're still trailing 2-1 at Leeds. It's a live view on the Talksport app. Salah into the feet of Isak. Back from him to Soboslai. Down towards Joe Gomez. 10 yards outside the Sunderland penalty area. Passing neat and tidy. Not potent as yet. They're just trying to create the openings and work Sunderland from right to left and then back again. Well, Liverpool going sideways rather than forwards at the moment, but the beloved Wirtz might be able to do something about that. He's found Soboslai. Down towards Mo Salah. Salah in his 301st league appearance for Liverpool tonight. Back from him for Konate. Soboslai. Soboslai to Gravenberch. 63 gone. 0-0. Joe Gomez to Salah. Salah getting shown inside, and he's just hit a hopeful left-footed ball in. I think the Sunderland player who was closest to it saw what was coming and just ducked out of the way of it underneath it, Siddiqui, to make sure that he didn't deflect a miss-hit cross away from Roofs, who could claim it. And then Ballard will swing a long ball back down towards the Sunderland left for Talby. And they'll try and build from the back again. They can't do particularly successfully because it's come off Soboslai, but straight out of play for a throw as Liverpool prepare to make another change. They made one at half-time, bringing Salah on for Gakpo now. We're going to see Jones come on for Gomez, and that simply has to be a question of managing minutes. Joe Gomez, starting at the weekend, was his first Premier League start of 2025, keeping his place tonight, but they obviously feel that they can't get much more than an hour out of him, so Curtis Jones is on and will slot in at right back, Dean.
Yeah, of course, they would have liked the game to have been in a different position, but I think that 60-minute mark is probably something they would have talked about with Gomez before the game. Jones coming on. I'm just thinking they're just a bit predictable, Liverpool, at the moment. The players that they've got on the pitch with Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, all very good at getting the ball, popping it off, little movements, little triangles. I just wonder whether this game, to unlock the Sunderland defence, it needs maybe a bit more chaos, a bit of a dribbler, maybe a Chiesa, Engamoa, the young boy, could come on. Someone who's actually going to go past a Sunderland player.
Here is Salah. Szoboszlai outside him. Another good sliding challenge comes in from Ranildo. First opportunity for Curtis Jones since coming on. Late equaliser for Kilmarnock at Hearts. 1-1. That has finished at Tynecastle. And the leaders pegged back late in the game by Killy. 1-1. Give you the other Scottish results as and when they come in, and the ramifications for the table. Here's Virgil van Dijk. Back from him to McAllister. Just nudged it away from the on-rushing Isidore to find Konate. Down for Szoboszlai. In the second half, Liverpool's possession's gone up 5 percentage points, but they haven't had a single shot on target as yet, and we're nearly midway through the half. Gravenberch to his left-hand side for Virgil van Dijk. Now to Viets. Shown inside by Trey Hume, and then as the return ball was clipped back in his direction, Hume could just watch it go out of play past Robertson for a goal kick, which will be taken by Robin Roos. Celtic have won by a goal to nil at Celtic Park. There's a late penalty, and I mean late for Rangers. The 8th minute of stoppage time at Tannadice. They trail by 2-1. News of that in a moment. Celtic behind Hearts on goal difference, but they've got a game in hand after the respective results tonight. Sunderland bring it forward here. Opportunity from distance, right-footed effort from Talby! Sunderland lead at Anfield on a ground where they haven't won since 1983, and it's Shamsdean Talby that fires one via deflection from the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool's homesickness continues. They've offered little of note in this second half, and Sunderland, with their first shot on target since the break, have fired it past Alisson. The pressure intensifies at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Sunderland 1. Shamsdean Talby scored the winner at Chelsea, and he scored a massive goal now at Anfield.
Oh, Turbo Talby, he is rapid, and he was onto it so quickly. It was a mistake by Van Dijk just to play out. Enzo Lefebvre to Talby. He sizes it up. Van Dijk should step forwards. He shouldn't step back, and then it takes a massive deflection. As Talby sizes up the shot, Van Dijk turns his back, it comes off his backside and then spins away from Alisson. It's pathetic defending from Virgil van Dijk. You don't do that if you're a Liverpool centre-back. You don't turn your back, because that can happen.
It was Gary Rowett in 1983. And now after Gary Rowell, is it going to be Shamsdean Talby? Liverpool 0, Sunderland 1. Haven't won in any of their last 19 visits to Anfield. And now midway through the second half, they have something to protect. Sunderland on the front foot again, have a throw, which Lefebvre will come across to take about 10 yards from the corner flag. And we welcome listeners on Talksport here at Anfield, where Sunderland are leading, as you heard, by a goal to nil. Shamsdean Talby's second goal for the club. And Virgil van Dijk deflecting it past Alisson. Not the bravest piece of defending you've ever seen. Long throw inside the penalty area, headed away. Sunderland fans up in arms thought that they should have had a penalty there for a bit of holding and grappling that was going on Ballard, and Xhaka is going across to the referee to have a word. The VAR tonight is Tim Wood. He's hardly had anything to do, but he will be inspecting that defensive intervention from Szoboszlai.
Yeah, it's not particularly good viewing for Szoboszlai. He's got hold of Ballard's arm. Ballard tries to then back in. Szoboszlai does give a bit of a shove. I think Ballard goes down very easily, though, looking for that.
And nothing has been given. It will be a throw. Rangers scored that penalty at Tannadice. It finished 2-2. In the 7th minute of stoppage time, the penalty which was put away by Barani. Liverpool clear their lines. Well, they've got to get themselves in a position, if they're going to get themselves back into this, Dean Ashton, that they're creating more regular opportunities. In the second half, since they brought Salah on, they've had 3 attempts and none of them have been on target. So they've changed the personnel. What do they need to do tactically now to create more opportunities to give themselves a fighting chance in the last 20?
Well, they're not giving themselves any width. Yes, Salah's come on the right, but Wirtz is inverted on the left. I think the game is crying out for a player that can go past someone for Liverpool. Also predictable.
Gravenberch knocks it away from inside his own penalty area. Another ball delivered from Talby on the Sunderland right. That is clear. McAllister on the stretch tries to get the ball away, and he can find Wirtz. Lefay trying to foul him. He's got to be careful because he's already been booked, and I think that just came into his mind in the nick of time, because he knew that he had to try and stop that counter-attack for Liverpool. He also knew that if he did so with a foul, he would have been sent off. Liverpool ended up getting a throw out of that. Lefay made the right decision eventually. Salah chasing the ball forward. Sunderland win it, and Talby, who's here, there and everywhere at the moment, cropping up on the left-hand side, can knock the ball back. Ranildo with a long clearance. Here's Enzo Lefay, and nodding the ball out towards the far touchline. Can't get past Robertson. Full-blooded but clean challenge, winning it back for Liverpool. Alexis McAllister coming forward. Right-footed effort from him. Sails high and wide and down the exit in the Kop. Out of play for a goal kick. Liverpool at the moment staring down the barrel of a 10th defeat in 14 games in all competitions, a 16th in 33, and a 5th home defeat in 7 matches. You know, Dean, they haven't lost consecutive home league games in front of supporters since 2012. Could be happening tonight. They're 1-0 down with 18 to go.
Well, it doesn't look like they are going to create those chances at the moment. Sunderland have defended well, but it's been made very, very easy.
Hefty knock outside the penalty area that Sunderland are allowed to play on and have it with Talby. Now the ball is cleared by Van Dijk, and Szoboszlai will knock it away. Once Liverpool have got it safe, play stops so that treatment can be given for the injury. Is it Lefay that is down there in the midfield?
I think it's Trey Hume that's gone down, but I'm not quite sure how. A, this wasn't a foul, or B, a yellow card for Konate. Yes, maybe Konate's head that connects with Trey Hume, but Trey Hume wins the header, and he just clatters into him. Yes, his eyes are on the ball, but he doesn't get anything of it. Quite dangerous play from Konate, both for himself, but definitely for Hume.
Yeah, Hume had jumped, had headed the ball away. Konate came in and caught him. Shoulder, I don't know if it's shoulder to face, shoulder just to the upper chest. Barrel Hume over, and he's down receiving treatment. Liverpool are going to make another change. Ekitike is going to come on here for Alexis McAllister. So Ugo Ekitike with another opportunity to impress. He hasn't scored in his last 7 Premier League games since the Merseyside derby. It's only 1 goal in his last 11 in League and Cup, which was in that big win in Germany against Eintracht Frankfurt. You're listening to Game Day Exclusive. It's live on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Liverpool against Sunderland, live tonight. Search Now Sports. 16 minutes to go. And live on the Talksport app at Ellen Road, Leeds have gone 3-1 up against Chelsea. Dom Calvert-Lewin scoring the latest. Biol and Tanaka in the first half. Pedro Neto pulled one back. Calvert-Lewin making it Leeds 3, Chelsea 1. And Konate can bring the ball forward and find Virgil van Dijk. Humes received his treatment. He's just rubbing the back of his head. Sunderland temporarily down to 10 men with play having restarted. They've worked the ball back to Roos, who could at least stop it going out of play for a corner for Sunderland, but has just slammed it away straight out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the Liverpool left-hand side back towards Ryan Gravenberch. Now to Curtis Jones. Jones coming forward, 15 yards outside the penalty area to Szoboszlai. Out towards Salas. Liverpool look for an equaliser in front of the Kop. Szoboszlai has it again. Right-footed ball takes a deflection, comes onto the right foot of Weerts. His shot is blocked. Van Dijk, Robertson, corner of the penalty area, an opportunity to try and work it in. Gravenberch was waiting for it. Ekitike went the other way, then gets it back on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Drawing a couple of Sunderland players out. High left-footed ball in from Robertson towards the far post is headed away by Hume. Now Szoboszlai, back for Konate. Liverpool enjoying all of the possession, but at times it feels as though it's possession really without purpose, not creating the opportunities that they want with 15 minutes to go. Work back towards Szoboszlai. Now to Salah on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Salah's ball inside the box, and it's shanked away on the edge of the 6-yard box for a Liverpool corner. Although the referee says there was a foul. There was a push by Isak, and it is a free kick to Dan Ballard and Sunderland. 1-0 to the Black Cats.
Yeah, more frustration, but it's good defending from Sunderland. They're keeping their shape, and they're saying to Liverpool, you know, you're going to have to break us down. And I look at Liverpool and I think, who's going to run past somebody? Where's the pace in the side? Salah won't run past anybody anymore. Isak won't. Ekitike won't. Szoboszlai won't. Wirtz, they're lacking pace or someone that can run past somebody in that Sunderland defence. They've looked a little bit stuck, Liverpool.
Sunderland having possession. A clever little nutmeg of Ryan Gravenberch. Gravenberch on the right flank eventually is going to be able to win it back and clear. And then Salah to Weerts, and he's got two options to his right-hand side. One of them is Szoboszlai, brilliantly timed chance from Ranildo. Might have handled it as he slid in there to knock it away. That was the shout from the Liverpool fans. Play will continue, and the ball is worked down the left-hand touchline for Siddiqui. Was caught, fell on the ball, but wins the free kick. And Sunderland poised to make a change. We're going to see a player that Arne Slot knows very well, Lutzer Alcatrauda, who won the Eredivisie with Feyenoord under Slot, and he's going to be coming on in a moment with Sunderland poised to make this change. Liverpool 0, Sunderland 1 over on Talksport. Leeds 3, Chelsea 1, as again we have all of the action mocked up for you here on Talksport. 13 to go, Dean Ashton.
Look, again, it calls for big characters in this Liverpool team. They've been able to show over recent years that they've got those characters, that they're able to wear teams down as they fatigue. They're kicking towards the Kop. It's all there for them. They've just got to muster that, have the desire for it, have they?
Shack with the free kick. Liverpool got it away and then give it away, inviting more pressure. Robertson winning it back. Lefay nudges it away from him. Mukiel almost level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. There's so much space for Xhaka as he lays it back to Xhaka, flicking it down to the goal scorer Talbi. Talbi on the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. He's got good movement ahead of him from Isidore, but he couldn't squeeze it through. He's been forced to play it that little bit deeper. Catrauda is still waiting for the opportunity to come on. Good quick feet from Siddiqui, but he ran the ball into Salah. Now Jones. Played by Weerts to Szoboszlai. Ekitike waiting at the back stick. He's made a run into a more central position. The Szoboszlai thought he was going to hold his ground. Just fired the ball past him and straight out of play for a throw.
Yeah, Ekitike wanted it early. Szoboszlai took an extra touch. Then he changed his movement and the ball went in the wrong direction. All the frustrations. He sat kind of looking around thinking, am I actually going to be able to get into this game? He's got to try and stay patient. Just think, well, maybe that one chance will come my way and I can get us back on level terms.
The Sunderland change sees Catrauda come on for Lefay. So a defensive-minded player coming on for a winger. I think it tells you everything you need to know about how Regis Lebris is going to be approaching this. What a 50th birthday present this would be for him. He turns 50 at the back end of this week. And a relegation on his CV from his time in France, but he's been magnificent on Weir side. Still no shot on target in the second half for Liverpool, only the one for Sunderland, but they've only needed the one. Alisson getting the ball away. Now Van Dijk. Remember, they've hit the bar, they've hit the post, and they've hit the net. They lead 1-0, and we're at the 80-minute mark here on Talksport 2.
No, you can't remotely say Liverpool have deserved anything out of the game. They've not created. It's all been shots from outside the area.
Jones. Liverpool looking for a famous comeback here. Salah laying it back. Another right-footed ball in from Szoboszlai. Well caught by Roofs. They have conceded first, Liverpool, in 6 of the last 8 Premier League games, Dean. They've lost them all. They've got a terrible record coming from behind in matches this season. They've only won 1 out of 10 in all competitions in which they've conceded first, and they've lost each of the other 9. Are they going to be losing this one as well? If they do, it'll be the first time that they've lost 7 in their first 14 league games in a season for 61 years. They were defending champions then as well. Under Shankly back in the 64-65 campaign. Here's Jones into the edge of the area. Vitt, pass to, and in for 1-1. What a time for him to end the longest goal drought of his career and finally break his Liverpool duck. Florian Vitt picking up possession, inviting a couple of challenges, gliding through, and he'll say that he deserved this little bit of luck with a looping deflection that beat Roofs. Liverpool with 8 minutes to go are back in it, and they've set up a grandstand finale, 1-1.
Well, the best players find a way. They always do. They don't care that the pressure's there. When the opportunity arises, they're able to take it. They're able to go inside their own mind and just in their own world, and that's what Wirtz did. Again, a little shimmy. It was stunning the way he just faked to shoot, sat Ballot down, but it takes a massive deflection. This won't go down as Wirtz's goal. He's not going to get his first goal. It might be a wild assist. Comes off Mukiel and flashes past Roofs. It's the look they need in Liverpool.
So 2 goals, both coming via huge deflections. One off Van Dijk, one off Mukiel. With 8 minutes left, it's 1 apiece. Liverpool on the front foot here. Ekitike clipping it inside the penalty area. It's volleyed back towards his own goal by Isidore, but caught by Roofs, and there's no way that could be deemed to be a deliberate back pass. Roofs has the ball in his hands. There are 7.5 minutes for either of these sides to win it. Another game with the huge late drama, and we've seen a fair few of them on the Talksport network. That was a handball by Getrauda. That was the Harlem Globetrotters audition, because he patted the ball into the ground basketball style. Now he's got it again. It was deemed accidental. And he's played it out towards the right-hand side, where Hume will be looking for Mukiel, making a run past him. It goes out of play for a throw. Sunderland allowing plenty of time before each of these restarts at the moment.
But it obviously was going to take a player going past 1 or 2 Sunderland defenders to open that up. Otherwise, Sunderland were just going to sit there and hold their positions.
Mukiel with a throw inside the penalty area. Knocked away by Van Dijk. Straight back out to the former PSG man. And you're absolutely right, he has now officially been credited with the own goal. Trey Hume hooking that inside the penalty area. Ballard was waiting. Van Dijk just got it away from him. Only just. Isidori's down hurt inside the 6-yard box. Play goes on. Ballard trying to win it back, has done so. Used his hand in the process. Then kicks the ball away and then goes down hurt. Meanwhile, the referee is forced to run back towards the Anfield Road end to attend to Isidore, who's lying face down in the turf right in front of Alisson's goal.
Yeah, that's the right decision from Stuart. Well, recognised that Isidore had gone down with a head injury. It's a big header from Van Dijk with Ballard coming in, and it's Ballard then that crashes into Isidore, who's just stuck. Gets the clash of heads between the two Sunderland players.
So everyone can just draw breath and contemplate how they want to approach things from here on in while he's receiving this treatment. 5 minutes to go. Talby on 67. Mukiel with an own goal on 81 as he deflected a Florian Wirtz shot past Robin Roofs. It just hit the inside of his left foot as he came across to try and make the block, and looped it up past his stricken goalkeeper. If you're Arne Slot, what do you do with 5 to go to turn 1 point into 3?
Well, he's going to make changes. There's movement on the Liverpool bench. But he's got to trust that the players can use this momentum, this energy now that is always created at Anfield for the comeback.
You listen to Liverpool Sunderland on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. So a double change. Isak off and Chiesa comes on. And we're also going to see a straight swap at left back, Robertson off and Kirkes on. So that's the reverse of the swap that was made the other day at about this stage of the game. Meanwhile, the Sunderland substitute Isidore's received his treatment, and he's going to be okay and able to continue. So 1-1. Liverpool early season, they had that spate of really late dramatic winners in games. But are they going to be able to conjure up something similar here tonight, right at the death? Think of the Engamoa goal at Newcastle. Think of the Salah goal at Burnley. Others as well. Ball headed away by Ballard. Bounces down in the midfield. Robertson, Kanate, Soboslai. Here's Curtis Jones. Isidore still hasn't been allowed back on the field as yet. So Sunderland down to 10 men at the moment. Ekitike coming in off the right flank this time will bring it forward. Exchanging passes past Talby to find Curtis Jones. Siddiqui sticks his foot in. Now be played forward again by Wirtz. Isidore now back on. Jones to Salah. Salah playing it in. Handball shot against Talby, but there's only two things wrong with that. It wasn't handball, and it was just outside the penalty area.
But it's time for everything to be quick. Throw-ins, free kicks, everything. Just really build, if they can, the momentum. Squeeze Sunderland back into their penalty area.
Soboslai laying it back for Gravenberg. Now down towards Mo Salah again. Salah coming in with pace. Soboslai getting a shot in. It's half cleared. Salah trying to pick it up. Sunderland whack it away. It's attack against defence now. The Reds rampant, but not creating too many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. But with a stack of stoppage time to be played on top of the 2 remaining minutes, you'd have to feel that they will create good enough chances. Will they be able to take one to win it? They'll work it forward here towards Hugo Ekitike, pirouetting away on the edge of the penalty area. Feels as though for the first time now Sunderland are hanging on. Salah getting it back inside the box. It might break his way. Another right-footed shot comes in from Chiesa, then one from Jones. They're both blocked. Loose ball outside the box for Soboslai. He will take it on. Cleared though by Siddiqui. Allison mopping up at the back. In fact, Jones has just denied him that opportunity on the edge of the centre circle. He runs around it and then works it forward really quickly here for Florian Wirtz. 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go. It's 1-1 here at Anfield on Talksport 2. Led with the edge of the penalty area. Wirtz lays it back for Jones. Salah making a run ahead of him down the inside right channel. Wirtz supplies the width, wins the corner.
They can sense it. Just give nothing easy. Just make Sunderland have to defend every single situation. Just recycle the ball as it comes out. Just don't gift anything away. Nothing crossed over the crossbar. Just maintain that momentum.
Corner to Liverpool to be taken in front of the Kop. Swung in really deep, looking for Van Dijk, who's gone up for it. It's a big handball shout in there. They've got a corner. The VAR will be having a look at it to see if there's anything else that is warranted. Virgil van Dijk leading the appeals. He had the best view.
Well, I think it's Aldereta who's turned his back. His arms are slightly up. It's Van Dijk that tries to get the header in. Hits the back of his arm. He knows absolutely nothing about it. And it's about a yard away.
In comes another corner. Headed goal bound and then blasted high up in the air by Salah. It hit a Sunderland player. That was then cleared. It feels as though it's coming. And we've got 7 minutes of added time to be added. And the fourth official is just about to show that. It's Dean Whitestone with the numbers ball in his hand. 7 extra minutes. Sunderland poised to bring on Luke O'Nien for what will be his Premier League debut at the age of 31. Wonderful servant to the Black Cats over 8 years. More than 300 games for the club behind him. He's had to wait really patiently for his opportunity. He's not playing since he got injured very early on in the playoff final against Sheffield United last season. But he'll come on now for Talby. Yet another defensive-minded player behind the ball. Just reiterating this dynamic of attack against defence. 7 minutes of playing time left. Talby making his way off as slow as he thinks he can get away with. And Luke O'Nien comes on. Wonderful for him to be able to make his Premier League debut. Such a special moment. Will they yet be able to stand firm and get a positive result? Will Liverpool be able to make this late pressure count? So it should be 7 minutes from here. Curtis Jones with the ball in his hands, right in front of a camera on the touchline. He's taken the throw. It's gone back towards Szoboszlai on halfway. Szoboszlai finds Konate. Konate inside the centre circle. Kirkes made a run to his left. He's gone the other way though. Szoboszlai hanging a high ball forward. Van Dijk staying forward, looking for Ekitike with the header. Roos comes out, catches the ball, and he has stayed down now in front of the Kop. So more time's going to have to be added on. I don't know whether he came down on his head, whether he got a bang to the head from Ekitike, whether it's an awkward landing that's the problem. He's all right, he's back on his feet, he's going to be able to continue. Wins tonight for Arsenal, for Villa, for Palace, for Forest. Leads 3-1 up against Chelsea. Which of the two sides can win this with about 6.5 minutes to go?
I mean, Sunderland are going to have to work incredibly hard, aren't they? For the minutes remaining to hold out. They've been brilliant so far defensively. Liverpool, I think it would be massive for them to get the goal.
It's Chiesa. Scored that late goal early in the season against Bournemouth here, or back on the opening weekend. Trying to create something now. Dan Ballard's forced to come across and concede another corner. One-way traffic it has been since about 3 or 4 minutes before that Liverpool equalising goal, which was 12 minutes ago. It's 1-1 here on Talksport 2. Another Liverpool corner. Van Dijk's almost taken up permanent residency now inside that Sunderland penalty area. As the corner comes in, it's well headed away by Hugh. Out for Ryan Gravenberch, left-footed shot. Blocked well by Xhaka on the edge of the penalty area. Turned in again, flicked towards goal. And the header is comfortably caught. Roofsen gets it upfield. It's a brilliant run from inside his own half. Isidore, one-on-one, tries to get past the goalkeeper. Cleared off the line by the retreating Chiesa.
Well, that was ridiculous. How was Roos just able just to kick that forwards? Isidore just stayed in his own half long enough. Chiesa it was that was back. Isidore 1v1, tried to take it round Alisson's. Chiesa stuck to it and just about cleared it off the line. What that will mean now if Liverpool go on and win it. It was ridiculous defending though from Liverpool.
They've got away with it, and credit to Chiesa. That's not necessarily the long suit in his game of tracking all the way back, making goal line clearances, but it saved their blushes. Kirkes with the ball in here that's looped up on the edge of the 6-yard box and headed calmly back for Robin Roofs. No thought of getting this upfield for Isidore quickly this time. Isidore will be desperately disappointed that he couldn't make more of that chance. Addison did enough, he held him up, and that allowed Chiesa to come back. Isidore taking it wide to the right-hand side of the goalkeeper as we look at it, but when the angle became tight, and Chiesa could come back and do the rest. Liverpool have it again inside their own half with Virgil van Dijk. 2.5 of the additional 7 still to be played. We reckon there's going to be at least one more on top of that already. So probably 3.5 minutes left. It's 1 apiece. Mo Salah in possession, coming in off the right flank. Back for Curtis Jones. Hangs a high ball inside the penalty area that's headed away. Wirtz, Ekitike. Catrauda can clear on the edge of his own box to poke it clear. I mean, it's pretty much an 8-2-1 now for Sunderland. Still hanging firm. Be a big point for them. It will keep them above Liverpool in the table if it stays this way. And there is still an if. Liverpool fans frustrated at the reluctance that Addison is showing to get the ball forward early. And only now, as Gravenberch lays it to his right-hand side for Szoboszlai, they got it back in Sunderland territory. Salah with 2 bites at the cherry, able to get away from 09. Szoboszlai sending it forward, headed by Virgil van Dijk, out of the left-hand touchline for Kerkez. Wirtz trying to play it back to him. They've lost it between them. Sunderland win it back. Is the break on again? No, not this time. Catrauda has been held up. And when he works it forward over halfway, he's passed it straight to Ryan Gravenberch. So here come Liverpool once more. Probably about 2.5 minutes of playing time to go. Still 1-1. It's all Liverpool, but Sunderland an omnipresent threat on the counter-attack. Salah getting it back. Lovely 1-2 between him and Wirtz. He's won another corner off Luke 09. That'll be taken on the Liverpool right.
Well, they're pressurising. It's another corner. So often, how do we see a Van Dijk come and rescue them? Got to get the delivery right.
Szoboszlai is going to take it. Still playing at Leeds, they're 3-1 up. Still playing here at Anfield at 1-1. Szoboszlai taking this corner. Oh, it's a terrible one. Low and flat in towards the near post. It didn't get more than 2 feet off the ground. It's cleared. Second ball in is a better one. That's travelled all the way through. Kanate or 09 who got the last touch on that. Everyone claiming it was the opposition. The referee's given the goal kick, and by the time Roofs has taken it, we will have played the initially stipulated 7 extra minutes.
Great ball in, actually. Second time around from Szoboszlai as he came back out. Whipped in a lovely in-swinging left-footed cross. Missed by Kanate. Well, where was everyone else? Where was everyone else just to be piling in at the back post? It all stopped.
Roofs with the clearance. Sends it over halfway. It's back from Kanate. 09 mistiming his jump. And Chiesa trying to win it back. Isidore is in there. Gravenberch emerges with possession. Ekitike takes it on, but Alderete can knock it away and out for a Liverpool throw, which they will take way back inside their own half. Sunderland fans whistling, but there's got to be still at least 30 seconds to go, at the very least. Gravenberch. Back for Van Dijk. Szoboszlai. 7.5 minutes into stoppage time. Szoboszlai sends a ball forward that isn't the best. It's easily headed away by Granit Xhaka, but it goes out for a Liverpool throw on the right flank. Leeds have won. They've beaten Chelsea 3-1. Here's Gravenberch. Will this be the only Premier League draw of the night, or will we have a late winner? Ball in towards Curtis Jones inside the penalty area. Half clear. Touch on the edge of the box. Just over the bar. Really well struck. Hugo Ekitike on the turn, but he couldn't keep it down. And the referee says there's no time for any more. It is a point for Liverpool, but it wasn't convincing. And Isidore had the chance to win in his stoppage time for Sunderland and compound the Reds' misery. And it was the kind of performance that made you feel that perhaps it wasn't a turning point at West Ham at the weekend after all. No Mo Salah in the starting lineup tonight, although he came on at half-time. Didn't really create an awful lot. At that stage, Sunderland had laid a solid foundation. They took the lead with a long-range effort from Taube that deflected off Van Dijk. 15 minutes later, Florian Wirtz is tiptoed through the penalty area and hit a shot which is defended off Mukiel. and gone over Robin Roofson in for 1-1. Sunderland hit the woodwork on 2 occasions, missed that one-on-one late in the game, and then were able to withstand Liverpool's weight of late pressure, which really didn't work Roofs as much as they would have wanted. The bottom line is, it's a point for Liverpool, but it does feel like a step backwards rather than a step forwards.
Oh, very much so. I mean, you can't have 70 minutes and be as passive as that if you're a team like Liverpool at Anfield. It was too easy for Sunderland. They sat, they defended brilliantly, they looked after each other, they helped each other out in those defensive situations. They tried to be a threat on the break. Everything you would have expected so far of Sunderland this season we've seen, and we're still seeing things that you just don't expect of this Liverpool side. Never really got going. It was a lucky goal in the end, actually, that got them level. And there's still a lot of work, it feels, for Arne Slot to get the best out of a lot of the players. It'll be another night where we still look at Wirtz, we still look at Isak, Salah, and say, when are these players going to reach the heights they need to?
And it means that the two sides finish the night where they started it, and indeed where they started week 14. Sunderland 6th in the table and Liverpool 8th. Sunderland 5 points behind Manchester City in 2nd, and Liverpool just a point adrift of them, but in 8th with Brighton between the pair of them. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Well, Dean, a few candidates. I would imagine you're going to go for someone in blue tonight. Who are the people that really caught your eye?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think again, Xhaka, Siddiqui in front of the defence are just so superb and solid in what they give. But for me, it was a night where it needed a bit of a warrior, somebody that was going to head every cross that came in, made blocks, was brave. And Dan Ballard was all of those things, showing again what a fantastic defender he's turning into. And him and his defenders should be very proud of their performance tonight.
So Dan Ballard, the man of the match. That was our Here For It hero, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.